Hi, second graders. Mrs. Miller here. We are going to be reading a fiction story called Starry Night. And as we're reading this, we're going to learn about sequencing. So the sequence tells the order of events in the story. We can use the words first, next, then, and last to tell the order of what happens. So as we're reading, I'm going to be asking you some questions about what came first, next, then, and last. So I hope you're listening. All right, Starry Night. Josie and Ling were good friends. Ling was happy. Josie was her neighbor. Josie was happy. Ling lived nearby too. Josie and Ling couldn't wait for the school day to end. They planned a sleepover at Josie's house. They were going to sleep in a tent in Josie's backyard. As the class was leaving, Mr. Cortez said, "Your weekend homework is to look at the nighttime sky and explain what you saw on Monday." The class grumbled. That means they weren't happy about it. "Why the unhappy sounds?" Mr. Cortez asked. "It will be fun looking at the night sky." So up here, my first question is, what happened first in our story? Are you ready? What happened first was the class was getting ready to go home for the weekend, and Mr. Cortez gave them a weekend homework assignment to look at the nighttime sky. I think that would be a fun homework assignment. I'm going to click this arrow to go to the next frame. The girls arrived at Josie's house and were delighted, that means happy, to be sleeping outdoors. Josie said, "I'm so happy that we get to sleep in the tent. It will be lots of fun." Then Ling said, "I'll get the sleeping bags and the flashlights." "I brought flashlights so we can play games in the tent." Josie's dad poked his head inside the tent. "Girls, it's a good time to do your homework now because it is getting dark," he said. "Aw," they both complained. "Dad," said Josie, "do we have to now?" "Yes, I already set up the telescope." What happened next? See the sentence starter? Next, what did the girls do? What happened next? The girls were getting ready to sleep outdoors in the backyard. And then Josie's dad told the girls it was time to do their homework. Ling said, "I hope this won't take too long." Josie looked up and spotted a crescent moon. "Did you know the moonlight comes from the sun?" said Josie. "It's funny that it's called moonlight." "Yes," said Ling, who was still thinking about playing in the tent. Josie's dad smiled at the girls and said, See the stars in the sky? Those points of bright lights can form shapes." "You can see the Big Dipper," he said. "It's a group of stars that look like a giant spoon in the sky." Next question. Then, what happened? Then, the girls and Josie's dad were looking at the stars in the sky and talking about the different shapes that they can form, like the Big Dipper. I'm going to click the arrow to go to the next page. Josie's dad showed her how to look through the telescope. "Wow, that's more stars than I ever dreamed of. I never imagined there could be so many." It was Ling's turn to look. Ling cried out, "I see a bright light moving in the sky." "That's a shooting star," said Josie's dad. "This is fun," said Ling. "I really enjoy looking at the stars." "I think we've seen enough of the nighttime sky," says Josie's dad. "You girls can go play now." "Aw, Dad, can we keep looking?" asked Josie. "This is really fun." "Yes," said Ling. "We have had an adventure already, and we haven't even played in the tent yet." "You're right, Ling," said Josie. "This has become one exciting night." What happened last? last, the girls were really excited to still look at the nighttime sky, and they thought the night had been exciting because they saw a shooting star and had an adventure by looking at the nighttime sky. All right, my friends, maybe with your parents' permission, maybe you could go check out the nighttime sky and see what you see.